Hi guys, today's lesson is 8.5 Common Fractions, finding a whole number symbolically with non-unit fractions. So your target is I can evaluate numerical expressions. Your success criteria is I can use numerical expressions to solve problems. I can use the order of operations to evaluate numerical expressions. Okay, we're going to kind of start with this problem. It should look fairly familiar to what you guys were solving yesterday. Yesterday we took two different routes to solve these problems. You could either choose to do multiplication or division. We kind of decided that multiplication is just a little bit easier to solve, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that one more time. So you've got 4/5 of 15. Okay, now you can imagine that that of is just representing a multiplication sign. If that's easier for you guys to think of, go ahead and fill that in. Okay, so now I've got 4/5 multiplied by 15. Now, in order to multiply that fraction, all I need to do is change this into a fraction as well. So I need to represent 15 wholes, or 15 ones. Wada boom, wada bang. See, I didn't change that numerical value at all. That still represents 15. I just made it into a fraction. So now what I can do is I can multiply straight across. So I've got 4 times 15. Now, if you need to work that out, go ahead and do so. So you've got 15 times 4. 26. Okay, so now I know that that is 60 as my numerator, and then 5 times 1, with 5 as my denominator. Now, you should have already noticed that's an improper fraction. So what we need to do is we need to change that to a mixed number. So how many times does 5 go into 60? Well, if you need to work that out, go ahead and do so. How many times does 5 go into 6? 1 time. When I subtract, I have 1 left over, and I bring down my 0. Okay, how many times does 5 go into 10? 2. So my answer is actually 12. Okay, it wasn't too hard once I changed that into multiplication. So let's try it with this story problem. Okay, Owen is going on a 15-mile bike ride. The sign says that he is 3/4 of the way to the end. How many miles has he traveled? So I know that his bike ride total is 15 miles, and so far he's made it 3/4 of the way. So I need to figure out what 3/4 of 15 is. Okay, so like I just mentioned earlier, you can just change this into a multiplication sign. Okay, so now I have 3/4 times 15, and you'll notice that's not a fraction, but I need it to be. So I'm just going to put it over 1. So I've got 3/4 times 15 over 1. Okay, now first thing I do is multiply straight across. 3 times 15 is 45. If you need to work that out, go ahead. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, now it's an improper fraction, so I do need to go ahead and fix that. I need to see how many times 4 goes into 45. So I've got my 45 divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 4? 1 time. 0 left over, bring down my 5. How many times does 4 go into 5? 1 time. Oh, and I have nothing left to bring down, so I know I'm done. So now I'm going to rock around the clock to figure out what the answer is. Now I'm going to use my remainder and use it as a fraction. So my whole number is 11 and 1/4. Rocking around the clock, remember, you see what your whole number is up top, see what your numerator is, and see what your denominator is. So 11 and 1/4. Okay, so now I'm going to have you guys go ahead and try this story problem on your own. You can record it on Google Slides and then go ahead and give the journal pages a try.